Hello, everyone, and get out those hankies because we are officially 213 days away from the next meaningful pro football game. But I don't think Bill's
Huh.
crying quite yet. Maybe tears of joy because his Seahawks just won their second Lombardi trophy. And what a defensive performance. Can't wait to get into the game, break it all down, and hear Bill's jubilation as well. So let's get into it, boys, because it is time to enter Sandman Sports. And of course, it isn't just the Sandman with me. No, as always, we've got the incredibly cool, the massively talented Mr. Pat Klett back with us too. How we doing today, gentlemen?
Angry.
Bill?
Great.
Yeah. Angry. Bill, did you sleep at all last night, man?
I did. I had a few cocktails and I had to get up this morning at 5 a.m. to get to the airport. So it was a quick
Tough.
turnaround. Yeah,
So
quick
real
turnaround.
quick, and so you just made me think of something. This is completely unscripted, unplanned. A sports person here mentioned recently, he mentions every year how he cannot understand why the Super Bowl is not moved to Saturday night for so many reasons. Do you guys agree with that?
Yes.
Do you agree with that?
That is a good call. Never thought about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you just saying you had to get up at 5 a.m., you're partying all night. Everyone's partying. We're all I mean, I had no dog in the fight, and I drank all night and was up till late and wired. It's hard to get up early and go to work the next day. Nobody wants to do it. I think it's one of the most called in sick days of the year. I get the tradition. I get all that. I personally don't mind it on Sunday. But, I have a fairly flexible job now, so it's not like I'm commuting an hour or flying 4 hours like you. But yeah, I don't know. I wonder if they'll ever do that.
It's funny. I'd never even thought about that. I mean, it makes a ton of sense. Why not?
Yeah. Well, and don't even get me started on the National Basketball Championship. We've talked about this, but starting at 9 p.m. Eastern is ridiculous for the basketball. And at least the Super Bowl, I mean, they start at 6:30, which is fine. Like that's a reasonable time to start. But I think I've heard they're worried about Saturday night ratings. Guys, believe me, people will watch.
People will watch.
It's the Super Bowl. I think you're okay.
No doubt.
Well, boys, we are going to get into the Super Bowl stuff aplenty in just a moment, but you all know the drill. Before we go any further in the show, we must ask the random questions of the day.
It is time for the random questions of the day.
Bill, it is your turn to go first, so let's do it, all right?
Bring it.
If you could tell any anti-Seahawks fan to fuck off right now. No, I'm just kidding. We'll give you the real question. Okay. If Earth was being observed by aliens, what's the one human behavior they would find most confusing?
Okay.
We'll give you a second to think about that. And Pat, oh yeah, we got a good one for you. All right, here we go. Would you rather wear clown shoes every day or a clown nose every day?
Clown shoes. And my wife was making fun of me like a few years ago because for when I teach tennis, I was sponsored and I'd get these tennis shoes and they were all like colorful. And she's like, "You look like you're wearing clown shoes." So I basically have been wearing clown shoes to work for years.
Can you wear some clown shoes to Vegas, please? I would love to see you just walk all around the strip and just wearing actual clown shoes, dude.
Eric, I would do anything for you.
Dude, thank you. All right, I'll get on Amazon and I'll purchase some clown shoes for you, dude.
That sounds good. Sounds comfortable.
Yeah. Oh man, I think I'm with you though. I'd rather have weird looking things on my feet.
Why would I want to mess this up? I mean, look at this.
Yeah, I mean that is, dude. That handsome face. Yeah, you don't want to take any chances with that.
Yeah,
I get it. All right, Bill. So observed by aliens, Earth. What are they thinking is just very confusing. I've got a very good one.
Okay, good. Because I was gonna say I've got several running through my head. I don't feel like any of them are great answers to your question, but the first thing that popped in my head, and this is absolutely recency bias, but I often have wondered, why do so many people go to sporting events? Right? Like, we love sports, so we're going. But
Right.
if you're an alien and you're looking at 80,000 people crammed into a stadium paying asinine amounts of money for the beer and food that they could just walk over to their fridge and get for free and watch on a big screen television, sitting comfortably on a couch with a bunch of your closest family or friends, and drive an hour and a half to go pay $100 to park, and then
And then
it
wait in
makes
a
no
line
sense.
for an hour to get out
Yeah.
of the parking lot.
And
Yeah.
or
I
or
mean,
take a piss,
when you put it
or
that way, dude, yeah.
I don't
I
know.
mean,
It's
I
just
think
one of
that's
those
why I
things,
gave up my season tickets. I
right?
think that's why I don't go very often anymore. That's
Yeah.
really
So
good,
that
though.
was the one that come popping into my mind. What was the good one you had?
So this one, I've heard comedians say this, so I certainly can't take credit for it. But every time I walk my dog, I think about this is us picking up the poop of the dog.
Yeah.
Like, the aliens have to think that the dog is the superior being in our galaxy here, because it's just a weird thing to see. If you're an alien, to look and, yep, they
That's a good
poop
one.
and, they're leading us, and it's
Yeah,
just, the dogs are in control for
Mhm.
sure.
that is a good one. Yeah.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Well, boys, we are not clowning around on our site, and we only cover sports played on Earth for now. But there is ton of great content for all human sports fans and sports bettors, with new stuff being published every single day. So be sure to check us out at cmansports.com. And don't panic, guys, simply because football season is ending. The Olympics are just getting going. Those will carry us through the next couple of weeks, and we got plenty of coverage there. March Madness will be here before you know it. We'll have you covered there as well, along with a steady stream of golf, NBA hockey, and Major League Baseball preview content coming your way as well. As we ask every week, please be sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and LinkedIn. Every like, every follow, every comment truly means a ton to us as we continue our growth. So we appreciate any help you can give us there. All right, guys. Well, let's get into the opening. Of course, this week our opening will be all about the Super Bowl. Just can't wait to talk about it, hear your guys' reactions on everything. We're going to frame it through four main subtopics, guys, if that's okay. So, first, I want to talk about the game itself, overall thoughts, how it played out, key takeaways from anything special that happened, just anything that stood out to you on the actual field. Then I want to talk about the betting side of things, how we did, maybe any fun or memorable bets we won or lost, any pools, squares that we did well in. And I will also share how we did with our Stone Cold Locks and prop bet recommendations that we made last week. Third on the list, guys, I want to talk a little bit about the commercials. Which ones were your favorites? Which ones could you have done without? And then finally, let's discuss the halftime show. Want your thoughts and overall take on how you liked Bad Bunny and the halftime extravaganza overall. All right, let's get into it. Game itself, we'll start with Pat. Why don't you lead us off, sir? What were your thoughts about just the game in general?
Yeah, I mean, as far as the game, it was a bit of a snoozer early on. I mean, Patriots just had zero offense, no offensive line help. Their defense hung on as long as they could, but how deflating that must have been for them to hold Seattle to like 9 points in the first half and get zero help on offense. That's just, you can only hold it for so long. I mean, that's got to be just so devastating as a defenseman. But the second half started to get interesting around the beginning of the fourth quarter, only really from a betting standpoint, because it was pretty much a lock. It was never in doubt. But I got tired of Collinsworth saying every other sentence was, "This will be the difference." I don't know if you guys noticed this, but he would say, like, if Seattle goes on to win the game, that's going to be the difference. And then like two minutes later, he'd be like,
did he really?
Yeah, I caught it.
No, I
I
didn't pick
caught
up
it
on that.
at least 5 times. I caught it at least 5 times. It's like,
Sounds like a new
look,
drinking game.
every second, every second, something's going to be the difference. It's like a butterfly effect. Things can change. But I gotta hear Collinsworth say it all the time. It's just terrible. But anyway, congrats to Bill and Sam Darnold. Nice work.
What about you, Bill?
You want me to
I'm
go?
sure you got lots to talk
Yeah,
about
I mean,
here.
I got lots. I can probably even pare down, but I don't actually ever remember watching a game, a big game involving one of my teams that was less stressful than this one. It was over from basically the opening play. And
So,
it
and I
was,
don't mean to be, I'm going to say something. I don't mean to be a
yeah,
jerk or rub the, it, it is actually how I felt when Michigan beat Washington, the
oh, yeah,
national championship game.
yeah,
Cause it was just,
I can see
and
that.
honestly, it felt, it just seemed a little bit that way. Like it just, you knew which team was going to win the game. Sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't mean to cut you
No,
off,
no.
but yeah, no, I
I,
totally can relate to that. Totally get it.
I can 100% see your side on that as well. And that we were just hoping as Husky fans that we could get something going. And it just
Right.
never,
It
ever
never
felt
did
like
that.
it was going to happen. And Pat mentioned this, I think. It's just New England's D was also playing well. So I was texting like mad with lots of different text threads, buddies, and everything. And I'm like, I was literally texting guys, just go make this 9-0 because it's over. If they go up
Right.
2 scores, this game is
Yeah.
basically over. Go, and then they did. And then the third quarter it was like, go make it 12-0. I don't even care. They're trotting Jason Myers out there again. Perfect. Like
Yeah.
this, just keep adding field goals. And I just don't remember like feeling that way. I got a bunch of stuff, but the Hawks, the defense has been phenomenal all season. I love the game plan that they brought a little extra pressure early against Drake May. It seemed like it just really flustered him. Um, they couldn't really get anything going. I mean, but look at this. Look at the stats at the end. I mean, 6 sacks, 3 turnovers, a defensive score. New England had 46 yards at halftime. They had 70 yards near the end of the third quarter. I mean, the game, 13 points, whatever. I mean, Drake May throwing for 295 yards, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like they were never, ever doing
No.
anything. I mean, there was a sequence where they had like 7 of 8 drives, 3 and out. I mean, it was just like they
Those
weren't
were
even
all
getting
backdoor
first down.
stats. Those were
Yeah.
all backdoor stats.
So that was
yeah.
crazy. Drake May, the leading rusher. Nobody can run the ball on this team all season. So that you just kind of knew that was going to be the case. And I don't mean to like kick guys when they're down, but did you guys at all watch the game and go, Drake May really second in MVP voting? He looked awful, you guys.
I've been saying that for a while.
Awful.
You know, I thought maybe Booty and Diggs would help him out, but those guys were quiet, and you got
They just couldn't get
Hunter
open,
Henry,
right? And then
was his like only option, and he wasn't even playing. I mean, it was.
But even when he had a chance, he was missing throws.
Yeah.
Like
he was
not
missing
even
throws.
close.
He
Not
had
even
Hunter
close.
Henry, a couple he threw, and Henry probably should have caught him, but they weren't great throws.
Yeah.
That pick that he threw too, which really felt like the ultimate dagger. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know what he's trying
Well,
to
they
accomplish
talk-
with that, but I mean, that was a terrible throw.
They talk
So-
about getting into rhythm as a quarterback, right? You need some early
Yeah,
throws.
yeah.
You need to get into some rhythm. So I think those late misses, it's just desperation, and it's, you know, I think part of the reason why he looked so bad was he just wasn't able to get going and get some confidence, you know? So that was hard. I still
Agreed.
think he's good. I think
thought-
he's good. I mean, in a couple of games I watched him
Yeah.
this year, I know he's got a good arm and he's talented and he can run. So it's just a matter of
Yeah.
not playing Seattle, having a
Yeah,
couple more
and I mean
pieces
that-
around him.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, and honestly, Pat, your point's well taken for Darnold. Darnold didn't seem like he was getting in a rhythm the same way. I mean, again, New England's defense was really good. I mean, they kept him in the game for quite a while. The last couple points, Clint Kubiak leaving for the Raiders is a bummer. I just hope he doesn't take a bunch of offensive coaches with him, or I guess for that matter, defensive coaches. Kenneth Walker, MVP. Do you guys know the last time a running back was MVP of the Super Bowl? I was blown away by this.
Is a Washington Redskin kid, right?
No,
Or
he
after
was,
that? It was after
it
that?
was- yeah, it was
Yep.
after that.
19
Terrell Davis?
Yeah,
Terrell Davis?
yep.
Oh.
Terrell Davis, 1998. So first running back to win. I mean, that's crazy, you guys. 28 years since a running back won the MVP,
It's-
and he didn't
that
even
is
score.
a little crazy.
And
I
he didn't
know.
score. And then the last thing, you guys know I love the Mike McDonald hire a couple years ago, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I've been saying that since the get-go. I love the defensive-minded head coach. I love the fact that he's created this culture around my favorite team that is all about the team. There's no
He's
egos.
such a good coach, dude. Yeah.
Everything that they do is for each other. And I know it's corny to say, but as a fan of the Seahawks, that warms my heart more than anything. Seeing Ernest Jones come out and say, basically, F you if you're going to knock Sam Darnold. This guy's our leader. He's a great, right? I mean, just that type of stuff, and then just seeing them perform the way that they did, it just is such a cool feeling. And guys, I don't know any reason they won't be back in the mix next year. They got a ton of cap room. They got a bunch of draft picks. They don't have any big free agents that are going to leave. This team should be right back in the mix. So pretty exciting time to be a
Kiss
Seahawks fan.
of death.
Dynasty.
That's what you
It
just
could
gave.
Yeah, dynasty.
It could. We saw it last time, right? That was New England Patriots beating us in 49.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
anyway, we'll see. Anyway, Bierman, what was your takes on the game?
Yeah. So, I know a lot of people complain about how boring it was. Honestly, I enjoyed it immensely. It's a Super Bowl. I mean, we knew coming in, guys, this was going to be a defensive battle, and it certainly lived up to that. And while it was clear from basically the very beginning that Seattle was a better team, and you both hinted at that, and it was obvious that they were most likely going to win the game throughout. New England's defense, to your point, Pat, they kept it close. They gutted it out for the first half, and then they could only hold it so long, and the Seahawks eventually pulled away. But seeing Kenneth Walker win MVP was so cool and much deserved. I wrote about this in my six pack this morning, but he became, and you alluded a little bit to this, he became only the 5th offensive player ever to win MVP without accounting for a touchdown. The other 4 were Joe Namath, who we actually talked about last week. He won MVP
Yeah.
Super Bowl 3, didn't even throw a touchdown. The other 3 are position players: Fred Blitnikoff, Deion Branch, and Julian Edelman. But all of those receivers. So no first running back ever to win it without
Crazy.
scoring a touchdown. I just thought that was cool.
He had that touchdown at the end that would have got
I know he had it,
probably got
too.
the over then.
I
Or
know.
close to it.
That
Yeah.
touchdown being called back, I didn't like. Let's just say
Yeah.
that. But we'll get to
Oh,
that
no.
in a moment.
All right,
But
we'll get to that.
yeah. Like I said last week, he has just been a different running back since Charbonnet went down. And it was just, I've always liked this guy. It was just cool to see him play so well. And kind of ironic, don't you think, boys, that a Seattle running back won the MVP in this rematch with New England?
No doubt.
So,
And
yeah.
we all were saying the same thing. It was ironic
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. So, all right, I'll go next. I'll start us off next with the betting stuff too, just so I can share how we did on Stone Cold Locks, and then ask if you guys,
Perfect. Yeah.
you can share any additional bet related stuff that you want. But guys, I will say this, and we'll get to the Kenneth Walker thing in a minute. But I had a very nice betting day, fellas. I'm not gonna
Nice.
lie, it was a nice Super Bowl for me. First, let me start with our Stone Cold Locks, where we all did very well for the biggest betting event of the year. So I guess better late than never. Guys, I got to pat myself on the back a little bit because my final score prediction, we all gave our final score predictions last week. Mine was 31-13, and it actually ended 29-13. So I will take that. I also had said that the Hawks would cover and would go under. Hence my predictive score there. Bill, you also had the Hawks and the under with a 28-17 prediction, so
Yeah.
not all
bad.
that far off either. And then, Pat, you had the Hawks part right, but you thought it was going to be a much higher scoring game, and you had a 45-23 prediction. But overall, we did really well in those. And then for our prop bets, guys, we did really well for prop bets. We went 7 for 9 there. Pat, you went 3 for 3. Okay?
Nice. Wow.
You had Walker over 73.5 rushing yards, JSN under
First half.
79.5 receiving yards, and May over 30.5 attempts. Bill, you went 2 for 3. You hit on May over 19.5 completions, May under 38.5 rushing yards. Barely. You had
Yeah,
37.
that was close.
Ooh.
He had 37.
That was close.
And then you missed barely. So you won one barely and you missed one barely with Darnold. You had over 19.5
I know.
completions,
Man.
and he finished with 19. So that stunk. And then for me, I also went 2 for 3. I was off on the JSN MVP, very off on that. He did not have a very impressive game, but I hit on the over Travion Henderson 18.5 rushing yards, also barely. He had 19. So we'll
Wow,
take
okay.
that. And then the bet of the day for me, as I told
Yes.
Bill earlier on Sunday, we were on a call and I told him I was going full throttle on this one. Predicted last Monday night. And then the more I thought about it all week, I'm just like, this just seems too easy, guys. It seemed too easy, and it was. The bet was the Pats leading the game or having the lead in the game for under 18 and a half minutes. How about 0 minutes?
Yeah.
How do we
How about
like that, guys? We
0.0?
like 0 minutes? Yeah. Yeah. That was a fun one. And then I also hit big, just a couple other bets that I did. And some of these were influenced by you guys. So I probably owe you a beer in Vegas at the least, but I hit big. I ended up taking Walker not only over on rushing yards, but also as the MVP. Because when I said
Nice.
JSN, you had said something, Pat, about like, think about Walker, as MVP too. What are Walker's odds or whatever? And you got me thinking. So I got him at 8-1 on that. So that
Nice.
was a nice payoff. And then the other big one I hit, I was going through 'em, like right before, and I'm like, you've talked about AJ Barner before, and I'm just like, I think this guy's gonna have a special game. First touchdown scorer, why not?
Nice.
And he was, but
What
now,
was that one
I will
at?
say too, it was the first Seahawks touchdown score. So a
okay.
little bit of and it paid 9-1. That paid 9-1.
Nice.
So
That's great.
I'll take it. Yeah. But I did lose 2 bigger ones. I had a Walker anytime touchdown. And
there you go.
And then I did put a little bit at 16-1. I just threw a little bit on no touchdown as the game was like going into the fourth quarter. I'm like, I have a feeling
Field
like
goal
this
fest.
may just, and then it just, then touchdown head. So that, that kind of stuck because that would have paid off nicely. What was the other? I think I had one other one. Oh, late in the game, I bet that the Seahawks would cover by 18.5 or more. And that late touchdown kind of killed me on that.
That looked like it hit the
I lost a
ground. I thought that
couple-
hit some grass.
Yeah, I thought it hit the ground.
I didn't think that was a good one.
Yeah,
either.
so I lost a couple there that would have made my payday even better, but it was a good day for Bierman and his bets for sure.
Nice.
So. How about you guys? Did you guys do anything good with yours or with pools or?
I just put 50. I just put 50 down on Seahawks to cover, and it's one of those. As soon as the game gets going, you're like, I should have bet more. It's the I should have bet more podcast, right?
I felt that way all last Super Bowl with the Eagles. I was all over the Eagles, and I just didn't bet very much on them, and I was pissed myself.
I just thought it was crazy that the under was even in question. Getting near the end, I was just like, "Oh no! Like, what's gonna happen here? They're gonna this under's not gonna hit." I was gonna say real quick on your Barner touchdown too, Eric. That was a nice hit there. That was one of the most baffling plays by the New England Patriots because you know who's in the backfield for that play? George Halani.
Yeah.
And Darnold goes back and play actions. And when they showed the view from behind the Seahawks as he threw it over the top to Barner, you saw the linebacker and the safety both come up hard. Like, they're going to give it to George Halani? No way.
Right. Halani had one nice little run, though. He was
he did.
He
had 2 carries.
He had 2 carries.
He contributed for sure. Every time he was
he's
in,
a decent player. Yeah,
he's
a decent player.
He is.
But it was just, that was one of those ones where, as well as the defense played all throughout the game, I thought for New England, they really battled their asses off. It was just one of those like bad mistakes. They got to be just kicking themselves on that play. But anyway, that was interesting. For me, Eric, I went Seahawks and the under. I had a little parlay that I played. And
nice.
Yeah, it was nice. $100 to win 350 or thereabouts. Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, let's talk now about the commercials. And I actually thought overall they were pretty good, but would love your guys' thoughts. Pat, any ones jump out at you? Any favorites there?
I had 4 that I thought were. I mean, they were okay. I thought the Kurt Russell Ultra commercial where it's the reference to from Miracle.
That was one of my 2 favorites.
Where he's trying to teach the kid to ski. I thought that was good.
I love that.
That was good. Yeah, I forgot that one.
The Dunkin' Donuts with Affleck and Aniston and George Costanza and Joey Tribbiani, and that was kind of a fun little throwback. The Budweiser Freebird commercial was solid. That was good.
Yes,
With the
my
little,
favorite.
Budweiser
Yeah,
commercials
my
every year.
favorite.
That's
They're-
what are they
they-
going to
yeah.
come up with this year? I thought that was pretty good. And then, probably my favorite one was the all new Alexa Plus with Chris Hemsworth. He's like, it's Alexa Plus, and she's like, it's beyond Alexa. It does a lot more, and so he's like, well, AI is going to try to take over and kill us, and then so it goes through all these different ways where Alexa's trying to kill him. And it's kind of funny. Like he's in the pool.
geez.
He's
I didn't see
in
that
the
one.
pool, and all of a
I
sudden
don't remember that one.
Alexa's like, "Oh, it's going to be rain. We should close the cover to the pool." And like, I don't know. I thought that was kind of clever. But yeah.
Okay, I'll have to
Nice.
check that one out.
Do
What
we
about you,
all
Bill?
see the same commercials?
Yeah, I think
There's
so,
some
for the
local.
Super Bowl.
There's
They're
some
all-
local that
I mean,
there's.
there are the national ones. Yeah, I mean, there are
Yeah.
some local ones, but that wouldn't have been
Yeah.
a local one.
That makes sense. Every year I have to remind myself to pay attention to the commercials because it's like just ingrained in me that I'm like, I'm whatever. Like football's over. Okay, 2 minutes. I get to sit here and not think about anything that they're showing me. But Pat nailed all the ones that I loved. I loved the Freebird one. I mean, call me old school, call me patriotic. I don't know, but something about seeing the eagle wings.
Yeah. Well, I love
Over
they
the
asked the guy, "Are you
Clydesdale."
crying?" He's like, "It's
Yeah.
Sunday."
Oh yeah, sons of my eyes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sons of My Eyes. That was. I just thought that one kind of gave me all the feels. But then the other one that I thought was really funny was Adam Sandberg as Neil Diamond.
Oh, that was hilarious. That was good.
Yeah.
He's stuck
Neil-
in the diner with the mayo.
With
And
Hellman's,
like,
yeah.
I don't know. That one just had me kind of cracking.
It was,
up.
it wasn't bad.
Yeah. But that was it. How about you, Bierman?
Yeah, I mean,
What'd
you
we miss?
mentioned, Pat, both of my favorites. My favorite probably was the Duncan one with Ben Affleck and
That
Good
one
Will
was- yeah.
Duncan. It was funny, but although I will say to see them de-age those actors so much is kind of freaky.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah.
But Costanza managing a Dunkin' Donuts was just perfect. And he looked terrible, which is even funnier. So, yeah, that was my favorite. But my second one was the Mick Ultra one with the skier with Kurt Russell. I mean,
Yeah,
I just
forgot that one.
there were-
That was
so-
funny.
I mean, Kurt Russell, like the Rocky-esque training montage with Kurt Russell, and when he said again twice, like he does in Miracle, I lost it. That
Yeah,
was just
the Miracle
hilarious.
throwback.
And then he uttered a line that just made me laugh so hard. I had to replay it because I'm like, did I just? He said, "If you rely on sight, you're already blind, Greg."
Yeah. That was funny.
I loved it when he swung with the sharpened ski edge and he just took the tree out.
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
Yeah.
Like
yes,
I don't
yeah.
just the whole thing. I can't believe I forgot that one in my
No,
notes.
that one
was
that was
hilarious.
great. And then I have to just one that just annoyed me. I don't know if there were any that you were just like, what is going on?
Can I guess which one?
Yeah,
The Ben Stiller banana one.
that would make my top 5 of
Okay, all
annoying ones, but it wasn't the one.
That
I'm
wasn't
about
it.
to-
I
I bet
actually
it was the
didn't think it was
Jurassic.
terrible,
my
but-
brother liked this one too, and I didn't think it was that great. But the Jurassic Park one.
No, but also did not like that. So it was the Coinbase one where there were no images or people. It was just
Oh.
words on a screen, kind of trying to be cute and cheeky using the Backstreet Boys "Everybody" song.
That's
Like,
right.
Yeah.
Really? Backstreet Boys? That's what you got? That's what
Yeah.
you're going with Coinbase?
Backstreet
Backstreet
Boys
Boys?
got
I mean,
paid this
they got-
Super
they got
Bowl. They got
double
a
of.
couple.
I-
They had a couple
I
commercials.
mean, it was just, it was
Yeah.
horrible. I hated that commercial. I can't even talk about it anymore. Let's
Yeah,
move
I
on.
didn't
Alright.
get that one.
Guys, halftime show. What do we
Mhm.
think about Bad Bunny and the halftime
I
performance?
think Kid Jock is ready to go. on
Kid
this
Jock
one.
is always ready. Yeah. No, look, I thought it was fantastic. I know we don't want to speak politics on the show, and I won't really go in depth on my views, but I loved how he didn't come out firing politically. His message was of peace, and I respect him a ton for his ability to handle the political bullshit and with the alternate Clanchella Fest with Meth Head, Kid Rock, and what a bunch of racist fuckers. But anyhow, so anyway, I think about it this way: if Pearl, they're like, well, a lot of people are like, I didn't understand a word of it. Okay, what if Pearl Jam came out and played The elderly woman, or what's the one? There's one song where
Yellow
it's just
Ledbetter.
Yellow
Still
Ledbetter.
couldn't
That's
tell you
it.
the
Yeah.
lyrics.
So it's like,
Yeah.
so who cares, you know? But I thought the design was fantastic.
Yeah, set
Choreography
was
was
cool.
fantastic. I realize people listen to different music. I don't have to go to an alternate halftime show. I can appreciate what it is, even if it's not my favorite type of music. I'm not going to be a little bitch ass baby about it. But but you know, that was cool. You had a real wedding. You had him give the Grammy to the 5-year-old kid that was detained by ICE. That's probably the only political statement of the show. Was when he handed that kid his Grammy. Look, I would struggle to be peaceful, and I commend him for his performance and his restraint. It could be the single greatest performance when we look back in a few years at what it meant for us as a nation. And I think, I can't believe that there are people that still support this regime. And that's it. That's my end of my political rant. That's it. That's all I got. But I think this is, I'm out.
I don't know what Eric's gonna say yet, because we don't ever share like our notes beforehand or whatever. But I think this is so perfect because it's like the three perspectives that will probably cover a broad spectrum here of how people. First of all, I don't know anything about Bad Bunny. All I don't know is music. I didn't know that he's super popular globally. Like, I think he was the #1 downloaded artist on Spotify in 2025. He may have also been in 2024. Like, he is that popular, crazy popular. So, okay, fine. But I don't necessarily like his music. I don't know his music. So that part of it, like Pat said, I was a little bit turned off on, just because it was like I couldn't attach myself to like the hip hop one that was a couple years back, if I remember right. It was like such a cool throwback to all these things that I loved. Kendrick Lamar last year was kind of similar for me as Bad Bunny. I don't like his music, so I was kind of like, whatever. But the set was cool. The whole thing was cool. I thought the message and everything, it was a lot of peace and love and like that type of stuff, in which I can get behind. And I thought that was really cool. I think it was just brave. I guess that's the way that I would break it down. I just thought the NFL was brave to have this guy on there when so many people and a large part of their demographic and fan base was not very stoked on it. And so I thought that was brave. I thought Bad Bunny was brave. I thought Lady Gaga was brave. There was a lot of different parts of it that I just thought were really cool. Again, was I loving every bit of it? No, probably not. But
same. Yeah.
Anyway, I just thought, I thought it was pretty cool. So anyway, Bierman, I know you had a slightly different take, but yeah.
This is why I love America. This is why I love you guys.
Yeah.
We can sit and talk and disagree, and I disagree vehemently, certainly from Pat, but probably even from Bill. I hated it. I couldn't stand any of it. To me, now let me just say, here's why. I tune into a halftime show or anything where music is being played to enjoy the music. Okay. So I didn't like Kendrick Lamar. I don't like his music. I'm getting old. I'm going to have to deal with that with halftime shows, but it doesn't mean I have to like it. It doesn't mean I have to like it. And that's what we're asking. Yeah. I did not like it. I don't like the music. I definitely don't like it when I can't understand it. And I don't like anything. It doesn't matter what political side that I fall on.
You wouldn't have liked
I
Bruce
don't
Springsteen.
like anything political. I don't want anything. I mean, this is the most political we've ever gotten on this podcast.
Right.
We just, I don't want to talk about anything political. It's just not. So I certainly don't want it to see it in a halftime show. And you're right. It wasn't. And peace and love. Of course I want peace and love. We all do. Yeah. It's really nothing about Bad Bunny. Like I think he tried to do his best, and he did what he thought was the right thing to do.
It's just not
what I want to see in my entertainment for Super Bowl halftime. Yeah. So it was, to me, one of the worst halftime shows that I've seen for what I expect or what I want. So
yeah. I think that honestly, if it was, I mean, I don't take anything that you're saying as like opinion based on color, creed, religion, whatever. It was like, if I just said it, I don't know if you heard, but if it was Bruce Springsteen, you would have hated it.
I definitely would have.
Right.
I would have
so you hate
Bruce
Springsteen.
More,
so
actually.
if right. I mean, I remember. Do you guys remember the Katy Perry one?
Oh, that
Like,
was so
Sid-
bad.
Yeah.
That was so bad.
Yeah,
right.
that
But
was
Sydney
not
was a
Loved it.
big Katy Perry fan at the time. So for us watching it, it was like Katy Perry's not my favorite, but I could appreciate that my daughter was like, this is really
Yeah,
cool.
right,
And I think
right.
and I think we all can see like that different audiences have different tastes, and that's
Yeah.
just natural for any halftime show. So
You know, I had some people texting me and like, go over here and watch this, and I'm not gonna do that. I want to watch it. It's the halftime Super Bowl show. Like, if for nothing else, I want to be educated on what occurred during it, so I can have an educated conversation with others. Again, I didn't like it, but I'm glad I watched it. I don't need to go somewhere else for the halftime Super
I,
Bowl show. So
I honestly, for me though, this is a little bit. I never care about the halftime show ever. I can't
Right.
remember one
Yeah.
time where I was
Right.
like, "Oh my
It's
gosh, I cannot wait for these guys at halftime." I like the
yeah.
football.
Yeah.
I like the football.
I know.
So
And
yeah,
all the
so
halftime show does is just extend the time we have to
yeah,
wait
like a
until the
30-minute.
kickoff second. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
right.
long. Yeah,
Exactly.
I'm with you.
Anyway,
I'm with you. Well, guys, congratulations again, Bill, and to all
thanks.
Seahawks fans. It was
It was fun.
It was. Was it the best Super Bowl ever? Of course not. But it was a Super Bowl. The spectacle of it, the buildup of it, the actual game, all the betting, all the prompts, or everything we just talked about, the halftime show,
Yeah.
the commercials. It's what makes it the greatest American sporting event. So
Can
it was fun.
can I
Go ahead.
throw one more thing in there, Bierman? Because you had mentioned this, or I think it was in our last one. What do you think of Charlie Puth and the Star Spangled Banner?
So that's funny that you say that. Okay. So I actually like Charlie Puth, and I thought he did a really good job of singing it. But the comment I'll make on this is,
Did it go over?
so right before,
It seemed
well, I'll
quick.
tell you exactly what happened. So right before Cooper was like, "Dad, did you bet on the over under that?" And I was like, "I didn't."
Teach
You
him well.
can't. Like in my state, it's not an option for you to bet on.
Okay.
But I said, "Do you know what the over?" I don't even know. He's like, "Yeah, it's 2 minutes and a half second. So basically 2 minutes or 2 minute 1 second. I was like, "Oh wow!" And then he's telling me this, and then Puth starts singing, and I'm like, within 2 seconds of Puth singing, I'm like,
Oh, this is going over.
I'd bet the over. I'm definitely going
Yeah.
over. And so I'm timing. He's like, "Dad, time it." So I timed it. No, it was 1 minute and 50 seconds or 48.
I-
Like,
I
it was
thought it was
not. It wasn't
quick.
even
It
close
seemed quick.
to being over.
Yeah.
Wow.
Seemed quick.
And I was shocked, actually. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I thought he did a nice job. It was, maybe I was just jazzed up about the game, but I like the flyover and the whole thing. And I mean, I just had the chills going. So I thought it was a
Yeah.
good national anthem.
Yeah, I agree. And I love America the Beautiful. That's one of my favorite
Yeah.
songs. And
Belinda
at the
Carlisle.
Super Bowl, they
That was
always
crazy.
play that. I wish they did that at more sporting events, to be honest with you. Like I actually, I mean, Star Spangled Banner is, I get it, it's our national anthem, but I actually enjoy the song America the Beautiful more. So
Yeah.
I wish they sang
Yeah.
that more.
It
But
was all well done.
yeah, it was. It always is.
How about this?
Did you real quick? Did you have any buddies that went, Bill? Like being from
Yeah.
Seattle, like you did? Okay,
Yeah. Yeah, I knew
Yeah.
a couple people that went down, and they said it was awesome. They said it was 75% or more Seahawk fans. So
Makes sense.
it was,
Yeah.
closer,
That's
obviously.
that's
but
a high percentage.
I mean, and they were like, it wasn't just in our section, but when the Seahawks were on defense for the first time, it sounded like a home game. It was
Yeah.
that loud in there. So
Yeah.
just the Seahawks winning it in the Niners stadium, and then next year, you guys know where the Super Bowl is being played? SoFi. So
like
everyone's
back in
talking out
SoFi?
here. Yeah,
All
like
right, well, Bengals will probably be in it again then.
there you go.
know.
And
How
didn't
about
Seattle
Bengals
Seattle
Seahawks?
came out to Alice in Chains too, didn't they?
Was that the walkout?
Yeah, I think
Or
their
whatever?
walkout was like
Oh, that's cool.
man in the
See,
box or
Bengals
something.
Seahawks next year would be great.
Let's
I'll
go.
take that one. Or
Yeah.
Bengals Vikings.
Yeah,
Vikings would be
yeah.
fine
Give the
too.
Vikes
Yeah.
give the Vikes some love.
Yeah. All right, boys. That was fun. Let's get into the rest of the show. And now, in just a moment, we're going to announce our winner of this year's Nailed It competition, both our listener side and our host side. Then we'll get into our first edition this year with the three of us on Be My Guest. And Bill pretty much dominated that game last year. So, Pat, let's bring it this year,
Can't
and
wait.
I can only handle Bill winning so many things. So let's stop his streak here. Then it will be time for hot takes, then Stone Cold Locks, where we'll get back to some golf picks, and then we'll finish with our top 5, where we will get to complain about TV shows, which is always fun. And of course, we'll have plenty of fun and shenanigans along the way, including Pat recalling a story of how he almost once killed a man in a Fargo bar with nothing more than a slinky and some Lincoln logs. Guys, it is my honor to announce the 2026 Nailed It champion. There were 20 finalists who competed in last night's supersized Super Bowl finale edition, all vying for the right to be this year's champion and to win an all expenses paid trip to Las Vegas with the guests during Masters weekend, where they will also get to hang with the 3 of us. So pretty much the best weekend ever. And the winner is JD Raphael. He's a friend and a neighbor and a long-time Sandman Nation guy. So it was great to see him win. Congratulations, my friend. And as nice as that is, let's not bury the lead here, because we also had our host competition with pretty big stakes on the line there too. Pat and Eric entered yesterday, tied for the lead with Bill 6 behind. Bill, spoiler alert, you did not win. The winner of our competition is, sadly, Pat Klett wins by 2 points.
What?
Yes.
Congratulations, my friend.
Nice, Pat.
Dude.
Congrats.
That
Suck
was
it.
a good one, man.
I'm a very humble winner. You guys suck.
You guys suck. That's hilarious, dude.
Nice work.
So yes, that means Pat and his lovely wife gets treated to a very nice steak dinner while out in Vegas by me and Bill. So can't wait for that, boys. It's going to be a lot of fun, and congrats, Pat. Very well done all season long. It really is. I mean, you got, it's a long contest, and you got you won by 2 points the whole year long. So great job, man. Great job.
Bierman, what were the final tallies? Do you have
it was
points?
8. The 2 that we tied on, we both got nailed. It's like there were 2 questions that we both had the exact, and it was I forget what they were now, but he had 8 points out of 10. There were only 10 questions asked, and he had 8 points. So that tells you I had 6 and you didn't.
Wow. I felt good about my guesses too. That's like the kiss of death right there. Yeah.
I mean, I think you had it with 3 points, maybe something like that.
Yeah.
So,
I didn't go back and score it, but nice. Congratulations, Pat. That's awesome.
I want to thank my parents.
I mean,
I think. God.
Sweet. Well, nice work, boys. I can't wait for that Taco Bell down in Vegas, though. That's going to be phenomenal, Pat. It's going to be phenomenal.
Running for the border.
Yeah.
It's the best.
There is. The last time I was there, I ate at a pretty nice Denny's. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Yes. A little moons over my hammy for Pat.
All good stuff, guys. I'm excited about it. Let's do it.
Man. I love it.
All right.
That was a fun competition. I love it.
It was. Yeah, great job again. I love it. So I do want to thank everyone who participated and nailed it this season from a listener standpoint and all the positive feedback. We will certainly bring it back next year. And if you have any ideas on how to improve, please let us know. We will start that in early September. But between now and then, we're going to be bringing back a segment that we started last year and had a lot of fun with. Bill, we did do this 2 weeks ago with Paston when you were out. This is your first time playing this game since August. So
and I still sucked.
All that rust out. And yeah, you did. But that was a warm up.
That was a warm up.
Yeah, that was a warm up. So
was that just preseason or am I behind now?
It was preseason.
No.
Preseason.
Yeah, it was preseason.
Getting some reps.
So
yeah, I got you.
All right, well, let's get into it because it is time for Be My Guess. Gentlemen, today, I think our category must be Olympics related. The Milano Cortina games kicked off over the weekend, and I was pretty much glued for hours. I cannot get enough of the Olympics. I just love it.
I love it.
So, in honor of the Winter Games, our Be My Guess is going to be Winter Olympics style this week. Now, a couple weeks ago, Pat mentioned the introduction of a new sport to this year's Olympics called ski mountaineering. I haven't seen that yet.
I haven't seen it either.
I know it's there. But guys, there are so many different Olympic events. So this premise is pretty simple. We've done similar stuff before like this with minor league baseball team names and made up versus real holidays. So I'm going to give you the name of a winter sport / event, and you simply have to tell me if it is an official event in the 2026 Milano Cortina Olympics or not. Okay.
Oh no.
All right. Now, keep in mind, some on this list might have been events in the past, but are no longer.
Okay.
So it has to be an event that is in this Olympics right now. Okay. All
Got
right.
it.
Now, to the victor go the spoils. And since Bill won last year's, he gets to go first. Okay, Bill.
Okay.
True or false? That's all I need. There's 5 questions for each of you. True or false on each. Bill, is ski ballet an event in this year's Olympics?
If it is, it should not be, and I'm going to go with false because it shouldn't be a sport.
That is false. It
It
is
is.
an actual thing,
Oh.
but it's not. No, it's not
It's
an
not.
event. It is a thing, but it's not in this. It's not in the Olympics. So
Okay.
you are
Yeah.
correct.
I knew it was a thing. I would have guessed that it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
it. I think I've seen it somewhere
Yeah.
before. It's
All right, Pat, for you.
Uh-huh.
dumb.
Is Iditarod style dog sled racing an event?
Yes.
Should have stuck with your first instinct.
You
No.
gotta go with your gut. You gotta go with your
No.
gut. Pat.
Damn it.
It is not. It is
Oh.
not. Okay. Bill 1, Pat 0. Okay. Bill, is
Mhm.
mogul freestyle skiing an event?
Well, I know it's been there. I feel like you're trying to trick me with this. I'm gonna go with true. It is
It
this
is
year.
true. It is
Yes.
true. It is.
Nice,
Yes.
nice,
Yes, it
nice.
is. All right, Pat. Is there an event called ice dance?
Yes.
There is. Yes. And I
Nice.
love it. By the
Really?
way, I
Really?
kind of have a little crush on one of there's Madison Chalk is her name.
Ooh.
I never had seen this woman before, but her partner is her husband, a guy named Evan Bates, and they won they won something already, and it was like incredible, like watching these guys do it. Seriously,
U.S. Are they U.S.?
yeah, U.S. Yeah,
Oh,
the U.S.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
the U.S. So it was pretty cool. She's beautiful and a great skater. So
Jeez.
or I
Get
should
yourself
say a great
together,
ice
Bierman.
dancer.
Jeez.
A great ice dancer.
Ice
Sorry.
dancer. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
You're
All right,
drooling.
you guys both. So I know. I know. All right, Bill. Is there an event called skiathlon?
Well, I know there's a biathlon, skiathlon. What would that be? Maybe they don't cross country; they go down a hill. I'm gonna say true.
Dude, Bill is just good. He's
No
just
way.
good.
Why?
Yes, I
why
thought
am I
I thought you
good?
might. I thought I might get you on this one. Yes. So this is where classic cross country skis are used to begin with for the first 6.2 miles. And then they switch and go to a different ski called a skate ski
Oh yeah.
for the next 6.2 miles.
Oof.
Mhm.
I mean, this was excruciating to watch. Even the
Oh.
announcers were like, you can tell by their faces that this is tough for them.
They're
I'm
just
like, I mean,
amazing
it was,
athletes.
yeah, that is
And
not
then
a
do they
sport I would ever want to do.
they show their heart rates when they go to actually fire the guns, and it's like they're not even exercising. It's
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just incredible.
It was bad. All right, Pat. Synchronized skating.
No. It is not.
Come on.
It is not. Can't be.
It is not.
Yes.
It
Nice.
is not.
Yes, nice job.
Now I just
Pat.
need Bill to slip
All
up.
right. By the way,
Yeah.
I think Bill is like 40 for 40 on these true false ones.
Why am I
Like,
good at
these over the
this?
years.
Why
He is
this?
re- He
Why?
is really good at this, dude.
Why am I good at this game? I'm
All right,
not
here we
good at.
go. All right.
Okay, go
How
ahead.
about luge relay? Luge relay.
Wow. If they have that, it'd be pretty awesome. I would think, but I'm gonna say false. Feels like a
We
safety
finally
hazard.
got him. It is true.
Oh,
No
really?
way.
How
Luge
do they do that?
relay
How do they do
is
that?
a thing. I don't know, but
Oh.
there's
Doesn't it seem like, are they like passing a baton? I mean, that would be wicked at the end.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of want to watch it now. There's not a bobsleigh relay, but there is a
The
luge relay.
luge.
Dude, luge might be the most dangerous sport.
Crazy.
Ever. Like
Why,
I see these
why
guys,
do people
I'm
want to
like,
do it?
I don't know. It kind of makes me
Their parents
the way
make
I
them.
feel when I watch Alex Honnold climb a skyscraper. Like it
Yeah,
just
that's
makes
a
me
good
very
point.
nervous watching these people. So, all right.
All right. Well,
Pat, okay, how about snowmobile racing?
No,
ooh,
it's not.
No, that is correct.
nice.
All right.
Nice. Okay.
So,
I thought
we're
maybe
tied
that
up.
was. All right. We're tied
We're
up.
tied up.
Coming down to it. I get one more?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so I got a
Three,
chance.
three.
I got a chance.
You
All
each
right.
get one. Here we go. All right. Bill, half pipe skiing.
Yeah.
Yes, that is true. I thought I was trying
Yes.
to get you to think
Have
maybe
you guys
it
seen
wasn't
the
anymore.
Japanese like half pipers? Those guys are
Insane.
just freaking incredible. Yeah. Insane.
All right.
Absolutely ridiculous.
And then all right, Pat, we're gonna finish with you and darts.
Just
darts?
regular darts?
Regular
that like-
darts.
You're trying to trick me, son of a bitch. It's got to be.
That
No,
feels tricky.
It's no. I'm
Is
gonna say
it darts? Like they're
no.
oh, okay.
Lawn charts?
Oh.
It is not.
No, I'm talking about throwing a fucking dart, guys.
Yeah.
Throwing a
Okay.
dart.
Not
Bullseye.
smoking darts.
Bullseye.
No,
Yeah.
it is not.
All right.
Dude, it isn't, but it fucking should be, dude. If curling is one,
know.
darts should be.
I know.
one. I mean, come on. It really should be.
Nice.
So
4-4?
all right. So 4-4. All right. Here's the tiebreaker. Okay.
Oh,
It's
we got a
it's not an event. The tiebreaker is this question. I'm going to ask the question. The first person to give me the correct answer, you get one guess. Whoever's closest wins. But what year did the first Winter Olympics take place?
Ooh.
1914.
I was gonna say 1924, so I'll stick with it. I don't.
It is 1924.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, Clet. Yeah.
Fuck.
Yes.
I
This
love
guy
Bill,
knows
but
his
I
Winter
really
Olympics.
wanted.
This guy
Pat to
knows
win
his
that
Winter
one.
Olympics.
I just.
Where was it hosted? Or where was it?
It was in France, Chamonix, France.
Chamonix.
France.
Chamonix.
Chamonix, France. Yeah. And the U.S. has hosted the most with 4, and then Italy and France, I think, are second with 3. So, all right, guys. Well, it's time for hot takes. That's right. It is time for CMN Sports Hot Takes, brought to you by Double Take Salsa. I can't say it much simpler than this. Double Take is salsa done right. Crafted in small batches with premium ingredients. It's built on a flavor-first philosophy that lets the spice shine without ever overpowering. You get a punch of bold flavor first, then the heat sneaks in and earns that great name we all know and love, Double Take. If you're looking for the best salsa experience, start here. Visit doubletakesalsa.com and check them out on Facebook and Instagram. All right, Mr. Klatt. You know what time it is.
Hot takes.
Hot take time.
First, congrats to the Tar Heels for the comeback win and knocking off Duke.
Oh,
definitely
that was
worth
crazy.
camping out overnight for tickets. I watched a little of that out of the corner of my eye, no volume, as out with my wife. But
I watched
it looked like an all timer. It looked like an all timer. So that would have been a fun one to watch. Hideki with.
I think that might have been the only lead they had all game. I don't
was
know
that final
for a
shot.
fact.
The last second shot.
That could be
Man.
true.
It was
They were getting smoked in the first half.
Yeah. Hideki with the total collapse at the waste management.
Oh,
oh my God, that irritated me.
I got this on my list.
Should have been Siwoo, but he can't make putts on Sunday for some reason.
I actually put a little money on Siwoo.
I did too.
He was 5-1 on
the
opening, or 4.5-1, and I put a little, and he did it okay for the first half, and then
he missed like a 3-footer, and he would have been.
Rio was right there too.
Yeah, Rio had a bad Sunday, but it should have been. Look, Hideki's driver was all over the place. It was left, right.
Circus.
He could not hit a fairway. So I'm thinking, dude, just pull out the 3-wood on 18. So at least in the setup, you're looking down at a different club. Because it's not working for you all day, man. Pull that 3-wood out. You can hit it. Yeah, you'll be a little further back, but that's not going to be a problem on 18. Just put it in the fairway. That's all you have to do. Got her up from out of nowhere.
Man.
And that tournament never disappoints.
Crazy.
I mentioned that last time, that it has the greatest finishing 4 holes on the tour, I think, because so much can happen to the leaderboard.
I agree.
And that was a stacked board. But so much can happen.
Phenomenal.
Whereas some tournaments, you're like, well, everyone pars this hole. This is just this one could be, you could go from, especially 17, you could go from triple bogey to eagle. I mean, that's a tough hole. Anyway, I told you a couple weeks ago, it's Siwoo's year. He's so accurate with the driver and the comeback by he and Scheffler, both in 89th place after day one. Bet heavy on Siwoo because he is still undervalued and probably will be till he wins one. So I think top 5 bets all year could be a nice play.
This could be his year. Yeah, I think he's going to hit.
He's been great.
What about you, Bill?
Yeah, I mean, you touched on the waste management. I love Hideki. I mean, I know Eric's got fond memories of him too, just based on that Masters win from a few years back. Just absolutely brutal fan interaction at the end. I mean, I know this is drunk fest. I know it's the loudest hole in golf. I know all those things. But can we just have a little bit of decorum when a guy is pulling the putter back or he's got his driver's been going crazy all day?
Well, and the shadow came across. I don't know if you saw the shadow of the airplane.
I did.
But he was, I don't think he was going to make that putt. Well, he was making putts all day, but still. Yeah.
His short game is just so good. I mean, it's one of those, you can't police it in golf. I know that you can't police it, but it just felt dirty to me. I just didn't like it. And so I felt bad for Hideki in that way. But yeah, his driver was just let him down all day. Chris Goddard, I mean, crazy. 2nd win already this season. This guy's likable, hits the ball a mile. He doesn't look like the biggest athlete that's out there. He's a little pudgy, even, I would say, but fun. And then Pat nailed it. I just was going to call out Scotty Scheffler. It just inevitable. The guy
called it on Thursday. You said that on Thursday when we were hanging out.
Yeah. I mean, and it's just like, I think it was plus 6,000 after Thursday's round. And I didn't end up putting any money down on it, but it was just like, he just claws his way back into contention. And he makes golf so fun. It's just because he's kind of that guy who you just think's always going to be there. And the rest of the guys are all trying to get it done. And I can't wait already for Pebble this week. Just super fun. So that was it. Bierman, how about you?
Guys, so I love curling. I can't get enough of it. I have watched basically every match of the U.S. mixed doubles. They made it to the semis.
Yeah, mixed doubles is sweet.
Okay. They lost to freaking South Korea, who was 0-5 at the time. And the U.S. had only lost one match, and they'd lost to the only undefeated team at the time. They lost to South Korea, but they made it to the semifinals. That's all that matters. And it was starting right as at least on TV, it was starting right as this was starting. So I recorded it. So I'm going to, as soon as this ends, I'll go watch and see how they did. They were playing Italy, but I cannot get enough of it. I love it. And a few days ago, I texted you guys only half jokingly that I watched 5 straight hours of this and I still didn't really understand what the hell was going on. And I wasn't kidding. But I'm proud of myself, guys. I've taken it upon myself to really learn this game and to listen to the announcers and to do some research on my own. Now,
Eric,
there are still
come
some
to Minnesota.
things.
We'll go curl.
Well, I think I'm going to have to. And I got some questions. Here's some questions that I had that many have been answered. But there, I get the basics. I got that there's 8 ends, which are basically innings or quarters, I guess, and you score by having your stone closest to the center and all that. And at the time, I didn't even know what the hammer was. I keep hearing the hammer, and I didn't know that. But I get that now that that's the team last one to throw, which is really important, and I get why that strategically. I had no idea at the time what the power play meant. And I was like, what the hell is a power play in this? And I understand that that's like, I won't go into all the details. I understand what that is now. And so that was cool. The hog line, I'm like, what the fuck is a hog line?
Yeah.
And that's, I guess, the line where you can't cross there's weird language,
Yeah.
dude. There's weird language. But now what I don't know yet is why sometimes they can put a blocker in front and other times they can't, and why that blocker sometimes can be hit and sometimes it can't.
Hmm.
So,
I thought the
listeners,
blocker just had to
if you
go
want,
past the line.
Yeah, it's got to go past the
to
hog line
count.
to be
Yeah.
in
it has to go
play
past
to
the hog
block
line,
it.
but no, they can like place at the beginning of each one. There's like a blocker that's placed like in the same spot, and
Oh, I didn't know
sometimes
that.
yeah,
You
and
sure
then
they
you can
don't
use your
just-
power play. No, they
Oh.
don't. They place it, and you
Really?
can use your power play to move it to the side if you want, but you can only do the power play one time, like
Weird.
one time in the whole match.
Does it count as an
And sometimes you can hit it to move it, but sometimes you can't. And I think like later in the end, you can. So like your first 2 or 3, you can't. I've tried to deduce this by watching it, but I'm pretty sure, but I don't know for a fact. So I would
Oh.
love to be straightened out on that if there's any curling experts there.
I used to know
I
the answer
learned
to
like
that.
when they're all yelling like 9 or 10 or 11, you know, like what the hell that means? That's like refers to the speed, like how fast, like seconds that it's going to take to get to the center. So that was a little confusing to me, but I get that. But you know, the other thing, why does the same person always sweep? Maybe that's a rule. Maybe you can only have one. But what even more confusing to me is I thought, okay, maybe it's their strength. It's like you need to be strong, and so okay, it would make sense that the man is going to be doing that. And the U.S., the man always does it. But then in South Korea, the woman always did it. So it still might be a strength thing, but I don't know. I don't understand. Maybe it's a rule, but
Well,
I want to know like
I've never
why.
played mixed, but when we have 4 versus 4, typically the skip never sweeps. The skip's always down on the other end, directing where he wants you to throw it. And then he stays there until it's his turn. The skip will typically throw the last 2.
Okay.
Shout out Pete Swartzlaw.
Yeah. Yep.
And then I also I always thought the sweeping slowed it down, but it doesn't. It actually removes the friction on the ice. It makes it go much faster and can actually move the direction, and that's hence the word where curling comes from and all that. So yeah, it was
Are the mixed doubles
here
from Minnesota?
they're both from Duluth. They're both from Duluth.
In Minnesota, yeah.
But which brings me to my final question here. Why is Canada not at the top of every leaderboard in this frickin' sport? Like, I thought that was their national pastime after ice hockey. And I'm looking at mixed doubles and I'm like, where the hell is Canada? And I don't think they made the semis. If they did, they made it as the 4th and they would have had to win their last few. So I don't think they made the Final Four. And which is just was surprising to me. But no, guys, I love it. Love the sport. Can't get enough of it. All right, last one for me. We'll stick with the Olympics, and we're going to take a detour to the steamier side of things with this one, guys. All right, so I think we all know the rumors about how Olympic athletes have a reputation for having a lot of sex with one another in the Olympic Village. I mean, it's not surprising. It shouldn't be. Lots of young, super fit, attractive, highly energized, and tightly wound athletes living the time of their life in tight quarters. I get it. Good for them. Freaking awesome. Have fun.
It's
This is
where
not
I met
new.
my wife.
It's this this is not new. It's been going on for years, and many coaches try to persuade their athletes to wait until after they're done competing. But of course, that doesn't always happen. In fact, Hope Solo, the goaltender on the U.S. women's soccer team back in the day for years, said after the 2008 Olympics that the Olympic Village was a, quote, sex-fueled environment where athletes would often hook up with one another. She claimed to have had encounters with athletes from various countries, various sports, including a few well-known Olympians. And alpine ski racer Lauren Ross in 2018 told Cosmopolitan magazine, "I hooked up with everyone." Just flat out everyone. So in 2020 at the Tokyo Summer Olympics, they basically removed all metal frames from beds in the Olympic Village and replaced them with cardboard style frames where they could still sleep on them, but much more fragile, much less sturdy, and hence not as easy to have sex on. Olympic officials at the time denied that was why they changed them out, but most athletes believe that to certainly be the reason. In 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics, they did bring back a little sturdier frame. It wasn't quite what it once was, and it still wasn't very good. But in 2024 in Paris, they sadly brought back the cardboard frames. So, guys, I am here to be the bearer of fantastic, exciting news for all those horny athletes in Milan this winter. The sturdy wooden frames are back on all beds in the Olympic Village.
Leave it to the
athletes have
Italians.
already
Leave it to the Italians.
Yes.
Right?
That perfectly said. Leave it to the Italians. Several athletes have already tweeted or Instagrammed about how happy they are about that news. So not only can these athletes probably rest a little more comfortably, but for the biggest events of their life, but they can also have much more comfortable sex. And I, for one, could not be happier to hear that news. Go make plenty of 2046 Olympians, guys, and have fun. All right, guys, nice job. As always with the hot takes, but it is now time to get into this week's Stone Cold Lock.
Yo, fatten your wallets, cash those tickets. 9 picks coming and we do not miss it. Stone cold confidence, numbers don't lie. Every lock loaded, it's time to ride. From kickoff to the final clock. These are stone cold locks.
We'll go back to golf for the next few months, and we'll use a similar format to last year's. Bill, we did make golf picks the week you missed when Passon joined, so let me remind you of this year's rules and formats. We're going to use the same formats last year with just basically one minor change. Each of us will select 3 golfers to finish top 10. 2 can be any players. 1 must be a long shot defined as plus 10,000 or higher to win. The one change this year, we can never pick Scotty. He's just too easy every time, and it's just too easy. It doesn't provide very compelling fodder for our podcast. So we're going to take him out of the mix. Everybody else is up for fair game. 1 point for a top 10 finish, 2 points for a win, 2 points if your long shot finishes top 10, 3 points if your long shot wins. Pat, you actually got 1 point with your Siwoo pick in week 1, so you're starting out hot. We're going to let you keep that point. But guys, question for you. Are we sweetening the pot here like we do with Nailed It, or are we just doing this for fun? Anything make this more interesting?
I think we definitely
All
should.
right. We can decide
Mhm.
later, but let's do it. It doesn't need to be like the Vegas type bet or anything super big, but let's put a little skin in the game. A little skin.
I like it.
All right, I like it.
Sounds good.
All right, Pat, why don't you lead us off? You going with Siwoo?
No, I am going with
All right.
Mav McNeely at plus 2,700. This guy basically grew up in a mansion on the course. I mean, his dad was filthy rich. So a bit of a homecoming for him. He typically
I think you
performs.
have to have rich parents with a name like Maverick.
Yeah, name like Maverick, but like his dad was filthy rich.
Yeah.
So he typically performs well here, has been trending upwards for a while now. Currently ranked 22nd in the world and 17th in the FedEx. So I think he sneaks into the top 10 in a mighty field this week. Shane Lowry at plus 4,500. I feel like he typically does well here and basically everywhere, and my Irish brother will be in the mix. And my long shot, Ryo Hisatsune at exactly
Rio.
Bringing him back. I
10,000
like it.
plus 10,000. He had a bad Sunday
Roll it
this
back.
week, but was in it at Waste Management. He's the last two tournaments he's been in it. I think this is going to be the last time he will be a long shot for a while, so I might as well use
Yeah,
him
I saw
here.
it. Yeah.
I love that he grabs a sip of water from his caddy before he putts,
Yeah,
and then
so
keeps it on
crazy.
his tongue to relax himself.
Yeah.
Interesting
so
strategy,
weird.
but you know what? It seems to be working.
It's working.
So
I love it. I love all three of those. I'm surprised that we didn't have any duplicates, and I wonder if Bierman will as well. But you guys, before I give you my 3 picks, I'm going to throw a little shout out for Crush and Fade, the article series that I write every week. Hideki to win, so close last week. That was at like plus 2,500, so that would have been really nice.
That's right.
Siwoo Kim top 5.
You did.
Check. Pearson Cootie top 10. Check.
Your Cootie
Mav
pick was a
McNeely
really good
top
one.
20.
Yep.
Check.
Those are all good.
Fade Xander Schauffele.
Yep.
Check. Like
Yeah.
just I don't think I've
Dude.
ever had a week
Holy
like
shit.
that.
Hey,
I
can
know
you
it was
start
crazy.
sending that to me Sunday night so I can use some of those picks in these? I mean, that's
Get it, I
fucking
know.
nice, dude.
Yeah, that was great.
Great
So
job.
my 3 picks, I went with Justin Rose, former winner at Pebble, actually just coming off a win in his last start. The guy's just been on fire. I said this in I think the last pod. I just love this guy for some reason. I'm not exactly sure. I can't put my finger on it. But give me Justin Rose. I did not look at his odds, but so I don't have that to say. But my second one is Rory, which is just about as chalky as it gets. Without being able to take Scotty. But Rory is the defending champ. He plays well here. I look for him to be in top form, so I went with Rory as my second pick. And then my long shot is Jacob Bridgman, who I saw at plus 10,000. So I think he qualifies. So those are my 3 picks for this week. Jacob Bridgman has been playing really well all year, been in the mix. So hopefully he has a good week.
I love it. I went with Xander. I don't have a lot of analysis on this one because frankly, he struggled a lot lately. I just feel like he's about to break loose. We've seen Rory actually go through some of these dry spells where he just seems kind of uninterested, and then on the right course, right weekend, he breaks out. I think this is the week for Xander. Prior to missing the Farmers 2 weeks ago, that cut he had made 72 consecutive cuts. He had a poor showing at Waste Management, even though he made the cut. I think he finished 42nd. But this guy's won 2 majors. When he brings it, watch out. And I like his odds at plus 2,500, plus 420, and plus 196. For my number 2, I'm going with Akshay Bhatia. I think I'm pronouncing that right.
Bhatia.
Bhatia. All right. He was
Bhatia.
tied for 3rd at last week's Waste Management, finished 22nd here last year. And guys, in 2021 at this tournament, he shot an 864 at Pebble, became the first player since 2008 to hit all 18 greens in regulation. One of only 7 players to ever do it. At that course. So he finished tied for 30 that year. I just like his track record and potential with this course, and I like these odds. He's plus 7,000 to win, plus 1,000 top 5, plus 440 top 10. And then finally for me, for my dark horse, I'll go with Sahith Theegala. I don't know why I picked these guys. I can't pronounce their name, but we'll go with him for long shot. He's a plus 11,500 to win, plus 1,500 top 5, plus 620 top 10. I really like this pick. Guys, he came in top 20.
Well.
He's been doing a little bit lately. He had a bad last year.
He came in top 20 here 2 years ago, 53rd last year. Last week, though, Waste Management, he finished 18th. He's also had 2 top 10 finishes already this season. He's top 10 in putting for the season, which is always nice to see. So, yeah, for my dark horse, he feels
I like that. Good pick.
All right, gentlemen. Well, it is now time to have a little bit of top 5 fun.
Sports, pop culture, and everything right. Don't like our list, make your own tonight. Buckle up, it's time for the top 5.
I feel like we've been way too positive on this show in recent episodes, and I don't like too much of that. So it is time to pivot. Today, our top 5 is going to give us the opportunity to bitch. And I am going to bitch because I got some shit on my mind as it relates to television shows. And that is specifically what we're going to be talking about. I want us to share our top 5 most overrated television shows of all time. This came to me because I caught a few minutes of an old Gilligan's Island episode, and I used to think as a kid I liked that show, and I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I mean, oh, just terrible, terrible. I don't know how that show lasted more than one episode, let alone 3 years. And so it's not on my list because it's so bad, I can't even talk about it. So we're gonna take that off the list. But all right, I digress. So these can be old or new, can be literally from any genre or time frame, comedy, drama, whatever. But it does need to follow these 2 rules. It has to be what most would consider a universally liked or long running show. And 2, you have to have watched at least 1 episode of the show. All right, Pat. Start us off with your 5 and 4.
All right, number 5, I went Big Bang Theory. Somehow this show became a huge hit, and not sure how. I watched bits and pieces, and it just seemed to follow a basic formula. They try to make nerdy people a little too nerdy, and I don't know. It never really drew me in. Didn't really make anything new. It just kind of was playing on the old standard, from what I saw, old standards for sitcoms. So that was my number 5. I just never really drew me in. And then number 4 was The Bear. It was a show that got a lot of hype. Critics loved it. I watched a few episodes, but it just didn't draw me in. Kitchen staff and their problems don't make for that much drama for me. I was hoping it would be kind of like a cool Anthony Bourdain type show where they're talking about food, and it's too bad because I really wanted to like it, but it just didn't hit for me.
Well, it's funny you say I've not ever seen it, but I've heard other people tell me how much they love that show. Like, I'm always talking to people. Like, I have a list I keep of TV shows to watch. I love watching new shows, and I've probably had 3 or 4 people tell me to watch that show. And so it is popular, and for you to, it's just interesting, not good.
It just
So,
didn't rope me in,
I
and
don't
I
know it.
wanted it. I wanted to like it so bad, but it just. I think I gave it like 3-4 episodes, and I just like, this one's it's not gonna do it. So
yeah. All right, Bill.
All right, my number 5. I'm coming out swinging right
Coming
out
hot.
the gates. Yeah, and I know this is going to be controversial, but I'm putting Friends as my number
Yeah.
5.
I knew somebody would.
Yeah,
I love it, but I knew
and I
somebody would.
guess I get that people love it. I just never the relationships, the humor, whatever it was. I never. Lisa Kudrow's just not funny to me, and Joey's not funny to me. So those are 2 of the ones where I just don't. I don't know. It just doesn't. You mentioned pivot as you were talking about the segue
Yeah.
into this, and it made me think.
Yeah.
I mean, when I'm moving stuff through the years, I still say pivot. Like, and
Yeah.
Marcy and I always crack up when we're doing stuff like that. But I don't know. This show just never got me. So I know people will hate me on that one. But that's going to be hot button. Number 4, and I'm going to apologize to the city I love so much, Seattle, but I'm putting Grey's Anatomy as my number 4. I just don't understand this show. Never did. Never understood. And honestly, most medical
Bill, I'm
TV
right there
shows.
with you. My wife watched that show,
good.
and it was like
Sid
they had
loved
like
it.
35 seasons, and every time it was
I
like
think it's still
they're
going.
just trying to pull on your heartstrings. It was like they'd bring in a sad song and like a cry fest. It was brutal.
Yeah. Never, just don't. The medical dramas, I guess they've just never really resonated with me, but this one, I never understood it at all. So sorry, Sydney, if you're watching. I know she loved that show, or loves that show. So, Bierman, how about you?
Love it. All right, guys. So this one, talk about hot button. I realize this one could ruffle some feathers here because it's considered by many as one of the best sitcoms ever. But I have just really never been able to get into Cheers.
Oh,
It's just
wow.
not
Okay.
my thing. So first of all, Diane is so freaking annoying. And if you're going to have an irritating character like that as the love interest, at least make her hot, please. And then they wrote her off, which was the smartest thing they could have done. But Rebecca wasn't much better, although she was a little more attractive. But and yeah, I love me some Norm and his quotes, but Cliff Clavin was an absolute idiot. And the episode with him going on Jeopardy is one of the most aggravating things I've ever watched in my life. Who are 3 people who have never been in my kitchen? Is just stupid. And my biggest issue, really, and honestly, George Costanza. was onto something with this one. In an episode of the great show, Seinfeld, he tells the real life George Wendt, enough with the bar already. People do go other places. And yes, George, you're brilliant. Could they please write a few episodes where they like actually leave the bar? And I know they do a few times, but not often enough for me. I mean, just every single episode is 100% in that bar, and I can't handle it. So that's number 5 on my list. All right, number 4. Now, this is a show I loved for most of the first season and was pretty much hooked like most of America. And then it just got so stupid and bad. And I'm talking about Lost.
Mm.
Kind of a cool premise to begin with, and Maggie Grace was on it and she was hot. But once the mystery of the island delved into something called the smoke monster, and then I think eventually like the Man in Black or something. No, I was out. Something that started cool, as a mystery, and then it just got way too mythological for me. And the ending, I've kind of like watched some stuff on the ending because I did stop watching after first season. But there's like a church and an afterlife timeline, and you don't know who's alive and dead, and it, just terrible. Probably should be closer to number 1 on my list.
I agree.
I never watched it.
Great start to
I never
it. What
watched
a
Lost.
great start to a show, though.
It was
Such
a great start.
but they just couldn't finish it. They couldn't put it together.
No, they could put
Yeah.
the perfectly said. Perfectly said.
Yeah.
All right,
Cheers,
Green
though.
Soup.
Oh man, that's a tough one. I always loved. I
Yeah,
always
Cheers
loved
is tough. That's a little tough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is again. I figure since this is the only show that I'm going to be political, I went with number 3, The Apprentice with Donald Trump. Didn't like the guy then. Don't like him now. You're fired. Okay. That's all I got on that. Number 2 for me is Shark Tank. Like, hi, I'm Andrea, and I'm a mom of 3 with 3 beautiful boys from New Jersey. And I am so busy and up to my neck in child activities that I invented adult juice boxes, or something like that. Like, it's just, yeah. So it's like, the judges sit back and think, how can I take advantage of this loser? I don't get the Shark Tank thing. I never, it's usually
That is a great
stupid
one,
stuff that no one should
You're out.
invent anyhow. So similar
Yeah.
to The Apprentice, just shows that I don't want to watch.
That's cool. My number 3 is appropriately Three's Company, which
No.
Come and
I'm
knock
gonna-
on my
I thought about it.
door.
I'm going to
I
throw
thought
this
about
out
it,
there, and
Yeah.
he doesn't watch, but my second dad, Don Cottons, love the guy. Every time I went to John's house at the Cottons, they would have Cheers, and they would have Three's Company, and they would have WKRP, and like that type of syndicated shows rolling. And he loved Three's Company, and I just always thought that the humor was so corny. And like Don Knotts was like, what was it? Was it Mr. Roper?
Mhm.
What was the
Yep.
neighbor?
Mr. Roper.
Yeah. And I don't know. That show just I never
It's
quite
terrible.
understood
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Just never understood.
Yeah.
So that was my number 3. My number 2, I went with The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
First of all, I just don't like zombie horror apocalypse stuff. I don't get into it. So I just never got into that show, but super popular show. I just could not find the love for that one. And I don't even know how many seasons it went, but I think I made it through the first season. And then that was just like, that was it. I just couldn't keep doing it. But I know that was a popular one that just never landed with me.
Yeah. So, guys, like Cheers, my next 2 are classic American sitcoms, and both are severely overrated. And I'll start with one that Pat has already mentioned, that nerd fest called Big Bang Theory. I mean, guys, I just cannot relate to these people. Boys, I've always been the cool kid. And while it can be a difficult burden at times to shoulder, I do my best, and I just cannot relate to these complete dorks. And it's hard for me to watch. Now, the show just didn't do it for me. I didn't mind Leonard because at least, he had some coolness and self-awareness. But if Cliff Clavin isn't the most annoying character on this list, Sheldon might be. I mean, every time I watched it, he just irritated me every time. And eventually it's why I started watching it. Now, Pat, please don't take a swing on me on this one. But the other reason, Kaylee Cuoco as Penny, no, thank you. She just does not do it for me. So, and neither does this show. And that's why it's number 3. And then number 2, guys, I can't actually say this one too loudly because if my wife hears me, she may come in and start saying mean things to me. This is one of her favorite shows of all time. She watches it often. My son Cooper also really likes it. I've tried watching it, probably made it through a dozen episodes. It doesn't annoy me like the others on this list, but I just don't find it to be as funny as Seinfeld, Friends, and Modern Family, which are my favorites. Guys, I am talking about Michael Scott and The Office. Now, again,
No.
I acknowledge that there are some funny bits, and Pam would definitely make my top 5 of biggest Bierman crushes in TV history. Oh, man, I find her to be just so attractive. But Dwight is
Awesome.
super annoying and stupid. And outside of Jim and Pam, I find none of the characters all that likable.
Oh.
And I used to work for a paper company, and that place was stupid, kind of like this show. So that's my number 2.
That's funny.
Dwight went to my high school.
Oh, no way.
Really?
Yeah, Shorecrest.
Same time?
Go Scots. No, he's older. I think he was like
Short
early.
bus? Short bus?
Short bus.
Shorecrest. Shorecrest High School.
Oh, Shore.
Nice.
Yeah, Shorecrest.
Short bus. Nice.
Well, that would be an interesting high
Short bus
school.
high.
That would be an interesting high school. No, yeah. I've never seen The Office. Never watched it. Not one show.
That's a fun one.
You're
a gooder.
Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah.
No. Good,
All
good
right.
for you.
Well, agree to disagree. My number 1 is like most reality series, The Bachelor or Bachelorette or any reality series in general. I don't like it's most of the time it's just like they're sitting around. It's like, I don't know if I love him. Oh my God, I love him.
I know.
How can we make out, how could he make out with Stacy and stuff like that? It's just like, oh my God, you guys, this is terrible television. But people watch it and they get roped in, and it's like they'll spend like 5 minutes with like a quiet conversation on the couch where they're cuddling, and it's like, babe, I love you. You're the only one that means anything to me. And then 2 minutes later, he's given the same line, which is probably why people like it and all the drama. But for me, I can only take 1 or 2 episodes of that, and then I'm out. I can't. You have to sit through such terrible dialogue. It's tough. So that would be number 1 for me.
I love it.
Yeah. 2 Pat. I'm going to do a Bierman 1A, 1B, but in Bachelor and Bachelorette, everything in the Bachelor Paradise, that's 1A. 1B is any Real Housewives of wherever it is.
So bad.
Yeah. It makes me uncomfortable.
Yes.
Uncomfortable cringe factor in all those. So yeah, I'm just not a big fan of those shows. I did enjoy watching The Bachelor back in the day with my wife, where we would kind of do the snarky comments and a little bit, of Mystery Science Theater type of thing, where you're just kind of bashing on the people as you're watching it. But yeah, I just can't get into those shows. It's just painful. So that's my number 1. Bierman, how about you?
Well, I know this one you guys are going to support me on based on what you
Okay.
said earlier. Like most of my top 5s, guys, I usually don't have to think long and hard for my number 1. This one was very easy for me. It's another one my wife loves and my daughter Mackenzie. They used to watch it all the time. I watched the first 2 seasons. It was okay. And then I just couldn't handle basically everything about it and had to stop watching. I'm talking about one of the longest running shows in television history, Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, can I just rant for a second about hospital shows in general? Oh my God.
Yes, please.
We do not need any more of these shows, people.
Yes, terrible.
ER pretty much did it perfectly, and then Grey's took the mantle.
No,
and it was okay for a while.
St.
But
Elsewhere
just so
was
much
the first
dribble
one.
Started
St. Elsewhere,
you're right.
yeah.
St. Elsewhere, and even Quincy, But ER was like ER did great. ER did it great. I'm not saying it was the first one, but it did great. But no, anything after that, dude, is just drivel. I mean, even House, and then The Good Doctor, and Chicago Med, and Nurse Jackie, and The Pit, and there's so many of these freaking medical shows. Please create some original ideas. Please. I hate hospital shows. Back to Grey's though. I have to issue an apology to Cliff Clavin and Sheldon because earlier I said they were the most annoying characters ever, and I was clearly wrong. That distinction absolutely must go to Christina Yang, played by Sandra Oh. I have never liked that actress, and I think part of it is because she was in Sideways, which might be the worst movie ever made, but she was so difficult to watch on Grace. She is truly the reason I would watch it and I couldn't stop complaining about her. And finally Jamie turned to me and was like, You need to
You
stop
got kicked
watching
out?
this show."
Oh, man.
You got
that's
kicked out of the
literally-
Grey's Anatomy
And I
watch
was
party.
like, you know what? I was like, basically, fine by me. I am done.
I'd walk in.
If
I'd walk in
never see
to our room, and my wife's watching it, and
Oh.
she's just bawling. I was like, "Oh my god, this show!" She's like, "Oh, I can't do it. It's crazy."
Oh,
no,
yeah,
it's
painful.
but even my wife and daughter have stopped watching after
Well, how many?
28
They got
seasons or whatever it is now.
50
still going.
seasons. It's crazy.
No, they're just like, I know it's still going. Gray's not even on it anymore. I don't think the Meredith
Oh.
Grey is on it anymore.
she was
No, she's
annoying
not.
too.
It's still going. No, she's
Not my fave.
very annoying.
Patrick Dempsey's not on it anymore.
Dr.
Yeah.
Dreamy
no,
or whatever.
Oh, no, he died. Or I
McDreamy?
think he died actually.
He did?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I think he's like a race car
Yes.
driver still. He's still around. I just
No,
saw
his
him on
character,
some
his
show.
character died. Bill.
On the-
God, I sorry.
No,
I got
Patrick
you.
Dempsey is still
Yeah.
around.
I'm
No,
sorry. Yeah,
McDreamy died on the show. I'm
Gotcha.
pretty sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can keep your McDreamy and McSteamy. I'll be over here watching good shows like Seinfeld and 24. Well, gentlemen, thank you again for another great show. Congrats again to you, Mr. Sanders, on your
Thank you,
Seahawks
boys.
win. Very cool. Very, very cool. I wish we could keep on talking today, but sadly, we can't because it is time to exit Sandman Sports. Have a great weekend, everyone. Great weekend, Sandman Nation. Peace out and take care.
Good luck, everybody. Go Hawks.